You'll note, um, before we even begin spooling a reel, we will wax the spool, and we'll also apply some surgical, non-absorbent surgical tape to the spool. Um, this gives the Spectra something to dig into, so there's less chance of it rotating on the spool first. And then secondly, the use of the wax is an added tool to help against corrosion on the spool. If there is saltwater penetration, it is possible that you could have some pitting of the spool. Spectra is non-absorbent, so that should not be an issue. But nonetheless, if you have a lot of line out there, chances are you can have some salt water that comes back in. It is recommended to make use of some Saltex to salt away to dissipate that salt from the spool. Rinse it with fresh water after fishing. Um, but the use of wax is just one more preventative or salt pitting deterrent that we try and do on the reels prior to leaving this place. The Omega winder is flat out the best in the business. I first saw this winder at ICAST in 2011 and began communicating with the fellow who builds them, one at a time, old style wise. In 2012, we bit the bullet and bought the piece, and they run about $6,000, so it's no inexpensive investment, which is why you don't see it at most dealers. Typically, most tackle shops use a Triangle HD140, which is a good winder. That uses mechanical pressure to help keep the line taut as you're spooling. That's increasingly important for the use of Spectra. On an HD140, we'll use a mechanical brake as well as a glove, and we'll burn leather in trying to have pressure on the spool as we spool up a reel. That keeps the line from digging into itself. Again, critical to Spectra, critical when fishing at a high drag setting. With the Omega, we're working with hydraulic pressure, and we typically are spooling up between 300 and 500 psi on a reel, depending upon the line test that's going on. Now, as I mentioned, it's a piece of really mechanical and engineering brilliance. Excellent machining quality. The motor is roughly twice the size and capability of an HD140. The pressure is more consistent. The way we mount the reel to the line winder is easier on the reel. There's less wobble. It's safer for the handle itself. Simply put, it's a better product. And that's part of our commitment as far as staying on the cutting edge of fishing tackle and spooling. We were doing Spectra at the beginning stages of Spectra in the saltwater scene, and we've always felt that we have the best packs going versus our quote-unquote competitors, especially those that are far less familiar with the product than we are. This is one more step in that direction, and as a result of this investment, we're able to gain anywhere from 10 to 15% in terms of line capacity on a reel. That's 10 to 15% more line being packed on a reel. Less chance of rotation on the spool, less chance of the line itself digging into itself. If you're targeting big fish, this is the winder. This is the machine you want to have your reel spooled up with.